What's up, guys? It's me, I'm back with another video. I'm going to review this Day 1 pay-per-view, but honestly, there's really only two matches I want to talk about. I'll obviously mention the other ones, but there's only two matches I really give a shit about in regards to what happened and stuff like that. So, go ahead, drop a like, subscribe, let me know your thoughts down below. Did you like the pay-per-view? Did you not like it? Yeah, let's go ahead and let's get into this. So, yeah. Let's just get through everything else first. So, on the pre-show, we had Cesaro and Ricochet versus Sheamus and Ridge Holland. Ricochet tried to hit a 450 on Ridge, and he ended up landing his right foot on Ridge's face and broke his nose. So, that's an oof. Sheamus still ended up getting the win regardless. And then, when we get to the main show, New Day and the Usos open up the night. Usos retained. They still had a banger match, as they always do, because it's the Usos and the New Day. You expect nothing less. Then we got to Drew McIntyre versus Madcap Moss. And there's actually an update from this, and I'll get to that in a moment. Drew won in a match that honestly went longer than it should. I think it went under 10 minutes, but it felt longer compared to the next match, which was RK Bro versus the Street Profits, which RK Bro retained in a match that went just over 11 minutes that felt a lot shorter. Just saying. But like I said, Drew did get the win. And then later, backstage, he got attacked by Moss and Baron Corbin. And the official update is that McIntyre suffered a cervical neck strain with severe contusions. And upon further evaluation by medical staff, he will have a follow-up with an orthopedic cervical specialist. So, yeah, his neck done got fucked up. If you didn't see it, basically he got his head put in a chair and had something slammed on the back of it or whatever. It looked brutal. It looked nasty. And that's also kind of bullshit to do because we all figured Drew was going to be the one to go after Roman or Brock, and we'll get to that later, for the Universal title after, this Brock feud was done. Now he's probably going to be out for a while. I don't even think Drew's going to compete in the Rumble. Yikes. I don't know, man. I don't like that. Just saying. I mentioned before, RK Bro, Street Profits. RK Bro retained. The match went by. It felt like it went by way too fast, but it went over 11 minutes, so whatever. Then we got to Edge versus Miz, and this provided a nice moment. Beth Phoenix is back. Remember, she left the NXT 2.0 commentary desk not even that long ago. It was after their last pay-per-view. And now she's back in the ring with Edge. Which is actually really cool. And, yeah, so I'm sniffing a mixed tag match coming up between these four, sometime down the line. Probably at the Rumble, but I'd also like to see it at WrestleMania, although then again, I think everybody wants to see AJ Styles versus Edge at WrestleMania, so we'll see. Like I said, Edge got the win, though. Now we get to the matches that I really want to talk about. Liv versus Becky and the Fatal 5-Way match. And obviously, regarding the Fatal 5-Way match, of course, Brock Lesnar was put into that match as a result of Roman getting COVID and getting pulled from, the match card. So, even though this was the main event, I'll just get into it now. Brock Lesnar won the title off of Big E. I predicted Kevin Owens to win it, even, before and after the news was announced that Roman had gotten COVID and that Lesnar was going to be in the match. So that's the only L I took tonight in my predictions, actually, which is crazy. I mean, it's not a technically it is an L because I said that in my update video, that I still had Owens winning, even though earlier I had said that I had Lesnar beating Roman. So it's like half an L, I guess, but it's an L nonetheless. The match honestly went shorter than it needed to. Sean Rossap tweeted out that it was supposed to be like half an hour, including entrances. It ended up being 20 minutes, including entrances. Now, some people point out that Lesnar can't really go, maybe more than 20. I guess you're right, but, like, still, I mean, you have 4 other people in that match, so Lesnar doesn't have to carry the damn thing. But, as other people are pointing out, one, this is the second time a New Day member has been fucked over by Brock Lesnar. Kofi Kingston flashbacks, anybody? And second, what is it with WWE in the way that they book their black talent? Again, Kofi back in 2019, Bianca at SummerSlam, and now Big E. All 3 have these monumental moments where they win their respective titles, 2 of which happening at WrestleMania, and Big E's coming off of a Money in the Bank cash-in. And then they have, Kofi's run with the title was all kinds of meh. And then he gets squashed by Brock on the first SmackDown show on Fox. Bianca had a pretty damn good run that, if we're being honest, got fucked over by Bayley getting hurt. And I have nothing against Bayley. It's not her fault that she had the ACL injury. But I think I'm part of a large group of people that wishes we could have seen what that I Quit match was going to be at Money in the Bank and what would have happened. Because that feud was freaking awesome. And then and then once that happened, it was basically Bianca against Carmella and Zelina for a while. Then Sasha came back, went heel to face to heel, just to set up the SummerSlam match, which never happened because Sasha wasn't there. And then Becky comes back, and it's just like, it's basically once Bayley got hurt, and again, nothing against Bayley, it's not her fault, but when Bayley got hurt, Bianca's run as champion was pretty much doomed from there. And of course, and then we know what happened. And now Big E, he wins the title off of a cash-in off of Lashley, and it looked promising for the most part. And then you get into now we're in this lead up to day one. Originally, Seth Rollins won a shot at him, and then they added Kevin Owens, and then they added Bobby Lashley. The Fatal 4-Way should have been a banger. Whether Big E was going to win or not, who knows? And then this happens, and it's nobody's fault, Honestly, I think because Brock won the title off Big E here, I think he was supposed to beat Roman tonight. I honestly think he was. So they just switched it because Roman got COVID. So it's not his fault. It's not Brock's fault either. It's nobody's fault. Shit happens. But you can't really argue that when it comes to Big E's title reign, it's been, I'd argue it was better than Kofi's, maybe not as good as Bianca's, but it's all 3 of them have ended in a shit fashion. And it's just, why? Like, why? It just makes no fucking sense. And the fact that Brock Lesnar has been involved in 2 of them, that just makes it worse. Like, I'm sorry. It just does. I'm hoping, and now what are you going to do with Big E? Are you going to have him go after Lesnar? Are you going to have him deal with Rollins? Because Rollins is still technically owed that one-on-one match. What do you do with him now? I don't know, man. I don't know. And with Lesnar now holding the title from Raw, despite the fact that he's in that feud with Roman, are we going to have a title versus title for title unification, whatever the fuck? Are we going to have that at the Rumble? At WrestleMania? What are we doing here? Because now you got to figure this one out. You really do. But it's one of those things where it's like, what could have been? And, so we'll see. But the one I really want to talk about is Becky versus Liv. And I want to preface this by saying I still have hope that Liv Morgan will get her moment. But that hope, it's there, but it's... Look, I got nothing against Becky. And let's be honest, Becky has done a hell of a job of helping Liv in her, in her singles run. Because let's be honest, Liv really hasn't had a much of a chance as a singles star because she's been stuck in 50-50 booking, or she got put back with Ruby, as a de facto Riot Squad 2.0 when Ruby came back last year, early last year, before she ended up getting released later on. Liv has never had the greatest of booking, and then you see her going after Becky, and that's been freaking awesome. And they've had some great interactions, promos, all that stuff. Both of their matches to this point have been really freaking good. I think tonight's was better than the previous, if I'm being honest, just for the amount of work that Liv put in and the amount of selling that Becky did for her, which shows that Becky gives a shit. But I just feel like Liv should have won tonight. The way that match played out, all the moves that Liv did, and bro, you can't tell me that Liv Morgan doing that move where Becky was in the corner on the ropes, Liv was on the ropes to her right, she jumps, flips, catches Becky, lands her feet on the ground, and then power bombs her to the mat. You can't tell me that Liv should not have won off that fucking move, because she fucking nailed it perfectly. Liv should have won. I'm sorry, but she should have. Because here's the thing. Now that we're going into Royal Rumble season, which is 4 weeks away, by the way, now you have to decide who you want to win this Women's Rumble. Because, well, first of all, you have to figure out how you're going to fill it, because I don't know how they're going to do that. You have all the wrestlers you have now. Maurice and Beth are both back, so you can throw them in. A possible Alexa return, a possible Lacey Evans return. Asuka, I'm not really sure about. Bayley, if she's able to. I don't know if she's going to be cleared by then. Paige is like the ultimate wild card because she's kind of teased it before. But I don't know if there's anything there necessarily. And I mean, I'd hope so, but, at the same time, the neck. I mean, yeah, Daniel Bryan and Edge have come back, but this is sort of different. But I mean, yeah, I'd love to see Paige return. I just don't know. And it's just, there's so many different outcomes that could happen here. I mean, again, Alexa returns, wins the Rumble, challenges Charlotte at WrestleMania to get revenge for Extreme Rules, and finally beat her to say that she's now beaten all 4 horsewomen. Sasha, you can have her win absolutely because, well, horsewomen on horsewomen match. WWE loves that shit. Bianca could win and challenge Becky to get revenge for SummerSlam. Bayley could return and get the win simply off the fact that it would be a huge deal for her. And if Paige is able to come back, same thing with her. It just almost feels like Liv might get lost in the shuffle. And it doesn't even just have to be them. You could give it to Rhea. You could give it to Shayna. You could give it to a couple of different people. Shotzi's another one. Like, you could, because we know what happened last year. Bianca got it, and they made a new star out of her. In theory, Liv has had this build-up to where she should win the Rumble. But there's just something about it. It just doesn't feel like that's going to happen. Because, again, in both matches that Liv has had with Becky, she's put on a phenomenal job. Tonight, she put on an even more phenomenal job. Improved like crazy in the ring. The promo stuff's still kind of but it's scripted as fuck anyway, so you have to work with what you get. It honestly sucks. I don't know. Something about it just tells me that somebody's gonna want whatever is supposed to happen to get changed. The way I feel. Because remember, WrestleMania 36, Shayna was supposed to beat Becky. The moment that Becky had with Asuka wasn't originally supposed to happen. And then, allegedly, although I wouldn't be surprised, that finish got changed because Vince didn't know how somebody like Shayna, with the way that she, fights in the ring, could be a champion or whatever, or get over with people. Bro, Shayna and Ronda Rousey came from the same freaking background. And you let Ronda get pushed to the fucking moon. Why can't you do that with Shayna? But that's another story for another day. I have all the hope in the world for Liv, and I want to see her win. But I don't know, man. I really don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. But we'll see. We'll see. We shall see. But with all that being said, thank you all for watching. Once again, let me know your thoughts down below. And I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.